Morning,
Good morning, brother. That's all right.
good. This is going to be a waiver just to keep that. It's not.
Okay.
Yes. Close that door. I think outside.
Ready on Adrian Green.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Oh, yes, they did. Calling case 2357023 for the state of Michigan versus Adriana Glenn, in discharge of count one home invasion, first degree. Appearances from the please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Elena Rozak on behalf of the people, P78815.
And good morning, Your Honor, and honorable staff, Attorney Quentin Docs, P number 79657. On behalf of my client is Adriana Glenn, stands to my immediate left. Ms. Glenn, please state your full name for the record.
Adriana Glenn.
Okay, so today is the date and time set for preliminary examination. Counsel?
Your Honor, if I may, I did come onto this case pretty late because it was originally in front of a different judge on the general exam docket. It is now assigned to elder abuse, and I will be the prosecutor handling it. After reviewing the file, I did inform Mr. Knox that the home invasion first degree is not proper in this case, that I would be amending it to home invasion third degree. And I did convey an offer to Mr. Knox. I believe that he asked that I would keep that offer open if the defendant were to wait and handle this matter in circuit court. The offer will remain open. The offer was for the defendant to plead as charged to the home invasion third with consent to HIDA. And that would include 2 years probation, substance abuse assessment and treatment if ordered by probation, and no contact with the victim. I believe that the defendant will be waiting for exam today on the home invasion third degree count, and I'll file an amended as circuit.
What's the statute for home invasion?
Give me a moment, counsel.
While you're doing that, ma'am, please raise your right hand. You swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Thank you. You understand you have a statutory right to have a preliminary examination by waiving the same. That means you won't have one, you'll be bound over on the amended information of home invasion third degree.
Yes.
You understand the nature and the purpose of a preliminary examination? You understand if you were to have one, prosecution would have to establish that the crime you're charged with was committed in the city of Detroit with this probable cause of Let's start over. So you have a statutory right to have a preliminary examination.
Yes.
What happens at the preliminary examination is prosecution will call witnesses to come forth and testify as to what allegedly took place. At the end of the day, I'm satisfied that they met their burden of probable cause, not proven beyond a reasonable doubt, but probable cause that a crime was committed in the city of Detroit, probable cause to believe you committed it, and I would bind over to Lane County Federal Circuit Court, where you will be arraigned on the information, which means you're told that you're formally being charged. From that point on, you either schedule for trial or entertain plea negotiations that may be available to you at that time. What I mean by probable cause, not proof beyond a reasonable doubt, is a lower standard of proof that they have to show in the preliminary exam stage. They have to show more likely than not the crime is committed that you committed. You understand that?
Yes.
So waiving your preliminary examination, you skip that part about witnesses coming forth to testify to that took place, and you're acknowledging that there's at least probable cause for you to be charged. And so your next step would be to go to Lane County Federal Circuit Court, where you'll be arraigning information, which is again being told that you're formally being charged with. At that point, you either schedule the trial or entertain the plea negotiations that may be available to you.
Yes.
You still wish to waive your preliminary examination? Is anyone forcing you to do so? Has anyone promised you anything other than what's been stated on the record, which is that you would plead as charged in home invasion third degree with HIDA, meaning the Home Depot Trainee Act, which means that upon the successful completion of your probationary term, the case is dismissed. You're shaking your head.
Say if they promise me to do it. No, nobody promised me.
Yes, she said now that nobody promised her.
Other than what's been already stated on the record.
Yes.
That you would be on probation for 2 years, substance abuse treatment, and no contact with the complaining witness.
Yes, I understand that. Yep.
And Your Honor, the NCL for that is 750-110A as an apple 4, and that's a 5 year.
Any objections?
No.
All right, court finds the defendant's waiver is made knowingly and voluntarily freely given. Court finds the defendant over to the Lane County Federal Circuit Court Criminal Division for the proceedings. Third, writing on the information date, time is July 20, 2023, 9:00 a.m. Bond.
Thank you. Your Honor, I want to address bond. My client, as you heard, has a plea for HIDA. Right now, she is on the tether, has bonding by the bond requirements. We're asking that the tether be removed. Your Honor, my client works at, she works at Checkers, and those hours sometimes goes over 24 hours and goes to 2 a.m., 3 a.m. Her tether restrictions are from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. So we either ask that to be removed 10 p.m. So we're asking that the tether be removed altogether due to the fact that we feel like it's more restrictive than anything for her.
Mr. Doss did also inform me that he'd be asking for the removal of the tether today. I did indicate that I would be happy to remove the hour conditions that the court has assigned and have her just be on tether for the safety of the complainant in this matter.
Right, so a tether with no hourly restrictions.
Yes, Your Honor. Or I would like to have.
No, I don't want to lose track. So we'll keep the tether on, but we'll make it. She doesn't have hours.
Thank you.
Like, send over an order, bring an order to them.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Ms. good morning. Ms. Gaston, can you hear us?
I can. Good morning, Judge. It got a little muffled when you first said something. Thank you.
Okay, you are here on consent.
That's correct.
This is a bond redetermination hearing. Where's Mr. Hassan?
He should be at the jail. Yes.
Yeah, I don't
I
have
can
the
waive
jail
his
sign on
presence.
here. Okay.
I can waive his presence if we don't have him, Judge, just for purposes
Okay.
of the bond hearing.
All right, very well. We're ready on consent.
Calling case number 2305-742801 for the state of Michigan versus Ahmed Hassan. Defendant insurance in count 1, criminal sexual conduct, 4th degree. Count 2, criminal sexual conduct, 4th degree.
Morning. How are you?
Count 3, criminal sexual conduct, 4th degree.
Appearances for the record, please. Jessica, is that your case?
I don't believe so because it's a CSC, is it not?
It is.
I think this one, this
If you'd like, I can go down the hall and see who's on the case.
I think it's Elizabeth Moore.
That's correct. And the email went out this morning having us sign in at 10 o'clock.
I can go grab her. I can go let her know real quick if you give me a moment.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, here comes Wayne County Jail.
If that's him, Judge, we're going to need an interpreter.
Good morning, Wayne County.
Good morning, Judge. You ready for Mr. Hassan?
Yes, I believe he needs an interpreter, though. We're gonna have to work on that. But yes, we're ready for him.
Okay. We also have a Mr. Akil Jones. He's scheduled for a PCC, but he also has a tether violation as well.
Okay.
The interpreter, she zoomed in earlier. I told her 10 o'clock. Yes.
All right, we're just waiting on Mr. Jones' attorney. Good morning, Mr. Jones.
Hi, Judge.
Good morning. Oh, I see. All right.
How are you?
All right, ready?
Mostly, Judge.
How many witnesses do we have?
We have
5. This is most of the stuff we're talking about.
Well, I have 3 subpoenaed witnesses, Judge, that aren't here, so depending on how things
So
go.
you're gonna call 8 witnesses.
We have 6 witnesses, Judge, and I had a fire and trooper around. Not lengthy, but fair number of witnesses.
Is it possible for us to get the interpreter?
Yeah, she zoomed in earlier.
Oh,
Yeah, I told her to come back at 10.
Your Honor, she'll be right on.
And here's the interpreter. Ms. Dornick, are you here on Hassan?
I am here on Miller.
Oh, you're here on Miller. Okay.
Yes. And only Miller.
So I need an APA. Any luck, Jess?
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Any luck?
Yes, she says she's joining right now.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
I just spoke to her and she said she's joining right now.
Connect your audio, Ms. Woodside.
She'll be right on.
It's doing the phone secretary.
We're ready on Miller.
Calling case number 2305-715-501, people of the state of Michigan versus Jameer Miller. Defendant is charged in count 1, homicide, murder, first degree premeditated. Count 2, homicide, felony murder. Count 3, carjacking. Count 4, robbery armed. Count 5, weapons, firearm, possession by felon. Count 6, weapons, felony, firearm. Count 7, weapons, felony, firearm. Count 8, weapons, felony, firearm. Count 9, weapons, felony, firearm. Count 10, weapons, felony, firearm. Defendant has a habitual living for this notice.
Appearances for the record, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Elizabeth Dornick appearing on behalf of the people, P79420.
Unmute yourself, Ms. Woodside.
Sorry, I'm just talking. Good morning, Judge. May it please this honorable court, Sharon Clark Woodside appearing on behalf of Mr. Miller. For today's proceeding, I'd ask the court to allow me to waive his presence.
Court will waive the defendant's presence. What's your pleasure?
Judge, we asked for this pretrial, Ms. Woodside, and I did. we have an exam set on Tuesday, the 11th. When Miss Gleason said that, I don't think she understood how many witnesses I was going to have. Right now I have about 12. And it's set at 10 o'clock. I know you have 2 other homicide exams that day, and Miss Woodside is still collecting discovery from me. And I know she's going through it diligently, but I'm not sure if she needs more time. And since I have additional evidence I need to give to her today. So that's kind of why we're here. We just wanted to do a touch base with you, Your Honor, and see what the court, I think, maybe thinks is best. Ms. Mitzkite, correct anything I said.
So Judge, that would be correct. I have 700 pages of paper. I brought my external hard drive back to the prosecutor's office again yesterday. And God knows how much is going on there. I know there's other paper. I know there's other reports. Honestly, Judge, the 11th is just not really feasible with the amount of discovery that I have. And the number of witnesses Ms. Dornick just informed me of tomorrow.
That's my last call.
I'm sorry?
July 27th at 9 o'clock.
I can make that work. I can make that work.
That's fine.
Okay, let's do it on the 27th at 9.
Okay, so thank you, Judge. I'll be back down by 12:30. Ms. Dornick, can you meet me so I can grab it? Is it ready?
Miss Wilmoth will have it, and it is ready.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
And yeah, I've already signed your motion, Ms. Woodside. People, you don't have any objection to an investigator being appointed at court expense, do you?
Absolutely not, Judge. Thank you.
Judge, with the amount of discovery, I'm going to need more. I just need experts as well. So I was going to get to that, but thank you for bringing that to my attention before we logged off.
I signed it.
Thank you. I asked Ms. Arnita when she gets a spare moment to email it back, please, if she has the opportunity today.
Okay.
Thank you, Ms. Arnita. Thank you, Judge. Have a great day.
Thank you, you too. Ms. Moore, good morning.
Good morning, Judge.
You here on this end?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay, you're ready.
Calling case number 205742801, people of the state of Michigan versus Ahmed Hassan. Then discharged in count 1 from the sexual conduct, 4-3, count 2 from the sexual conduct, 4-3, count 3 from the sexual conduct, 4-3.
Appearances for the record, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Elizabeth Moore on behalf of the people, P84724.
And good morning, Your Honor. May it please this most honorable court, Nicole Casca, P55470 on behalf of Mr. Hassan. Mr. Hassan and I are appearing by Zoom video. We do have an interpreter on as well.
Good morning,
Ma'am.
Your Honor. Samara Rahal interpreting Arabic for the court, state certified qualified.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to translate from English to Arabic and Arabic to English to the best of your ability?
I do.
Thank you very much. Sir, what's your name?
سيد أعطينا اسمك. سيد شو اسمك؟
اسمي أحمد حسين.
My name is Ahmed Hussein.
All right. People, or I think this was Ms. Casca's motion. Ms. Casca?
Judge, there should be a pretrial services report for the court.
Well,
we had asked for a bond.
They weren't able to complete one because they didn't have an Arabic interpreter available at the time.
ما قدروا يكملوا تمهيد القضية لأنه بالنسبة للضمان والكفالة لأنه ما كان في ترجمة.
Judge, can we order a new one to see if we can have it for our exam, which is set for next week on the 14th?
Sure.
تسأل القاضي إنه يعين ترجمة حتى يكون عندنا مقابل قبل ما 14 شهر.
And can we
Okay.
make sure that pretrial services knows that they need to have an interpreter, an Arabic interpreter to go and be able to complete the pre-sentence report? I mean, not the pre-sentence report, the pretrial services report for bond with my client in the jail.
I think we can make that happen.
I appreciate you. Thank you, Judge.
عم تطلب انه مشان سألوك بعد السؤالات يكون في تمهيد استحقاق القضية، يكون في مترجمة أو مترجم مشان يسألوك بعد السؤالات بالنسبة للكفاءة.
All right, so I will see you guys on the exam day.
Okay, thank you, Judge. That's July 14th at 1:30.
شوفكن استحقاق القضية شهر 7 يوم 14.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you, Judge. Thank you, Mr. Hassan.
شكرا سيد حسن.
You have to ask him a question. I don't know. I'm sick. I need to see my doctor.
Okay, so I just got a text from the medical examiner's office. They said that you can start viewing the autopsies now if you like. They're going to be doing them from 11 to noon.
Judge, should I leave?
Yes, ma'am, you're all set. Thank you.
Did Mr. Hassan just say that he needed medical attention? I'm sorry, because
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
yeah, that was before you spoke. If we could just go and have him marked medical, just to go and see if there's any issue, that would be perfect. Thank you, Judge.
No problem.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Takes the stage right. You can go back to the medical examiner's office there, expect the answer. But they said they're gonna have it completed by noon. Okay. All right. Okay, are we ready for Kirtley?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, let's do it.
You step off the curb. Don't go through the door, step around.
Calling case 2258934, people of the state of Michigan versus Winston Kirtley Jr. Defendant is charged with count 1 and 2, homicide, first degree murder, premeditated. Count 2 through 8, assault with intent to murder. Count 9, weapons, firearms, discharge, enter a building causing injury. Count 10 through 17, felony firearm. And count 18, felony firearm. Appearances for the record, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. My name is James Kehoe. My PIN number is 82812 of the people.
Good morning, Your Honor. For record, James Schlock, on behalf of Mr. Kirtley.
Tell me your name for the record, sir.
Winston Kirtley.
Today is the date, time set for preliminary examination. Are we ready to proceed?
Yes, sir.
We are, we move to sequester witnesses.
All right, ladies and gentlemen out there in YouTube land, if you are a witness or potential witness, I'm ordering you to log off at this time. These folks that are in the courtroom are not witnesses. They're here with the court for educational purposes. All right. How many witnesses for the people?
6, Your Honor, and then depending on how things go, we'll have a couple matters potentially at the end to talk about.
Do you have any preliminary matters you'd like to begin with before calling witnesses?
Yes, Your Honor. For examination purposes only, I believe there's a stipulation to the identification of the deceased in this matter, and there's 2 for the record, Judge.
Okay.
That's correct.
Court receives those stipulations.
And then, Your Honor, this time I move for what will be marked as People's Exhibits 1, 2, and 3. 1 and 2 are the corresponding medical examiner's reports, and then Exhibit 3 will be a Michigan State Police lab report for the firearms in this case, and that will be pursuant to MCL 766.11D as the data.
Okay. Any objection? Oh, yeah. Admitted?
Thank you, Your Honor. May I publish copies to the court and as well as the reporter?
Yes.
All right, I believe there are no further preliminary matters for the people at this time.
Did you want to read into the record?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you. Starting with admitted exhibit 1, this is medical examiner case number 22-10963, performed on Toyake Marshall Thurkield by Dr. Carl Schmidt, at the time Chief Medical Examiner Officer at the Wayne County Medical Examiner's Office back on August 1st, 2022. Under summary and opinion, it is my opinion that death was caused by multiple gunshot wounds as follows. Marked A, this gunshot wound was from the right side of the back, 15 inches below the top of the head and 7 inches left of the midline near the axilla. The bullet traversed the left chest, both lobes of the left lung, and soft tissues of the anterior neck, including the pharynx, before exiting on the angle of the right side of the mandible, 3 inches at 5 o'clock from the right ear. The direction of the wound was right to left, upward, and back to front. Marked B, this gunshot wound was the right scapular region, 17 inches below the top of the head and 7 inches right at the midline. It was a 0.75 inches diameter defect. The wound path traversed from the 5th rib, pericardium, both ventricles of the heart, the right atrium, and the right upper lobe of the lung. The exit wound was on the right mid-clavicular region, 11 inches from the top of the head and 2 inches right at the midline. A bullet jacket fragment was recovered near the exit wound on the anterior chest. The direction of the wound was upward and back to front. Labeled C, this gunshot wound was on the back in the mid-thoracic region, 0.5 inches to the left of the midline. It was an oval defect, 0.75 inches in greatest diameter, 19 inches from the top of the head and 0.5 inches left of the midline. The bullet traversed the subcutaneous tissues of the back, the paraspinal and neck muscles, and came to rest in the back of the head from where a bullet fragment and jacket were recovered. The direction of the wound was upward and back to front. Marked D, this entrance wound was the left side of the back, 18 inches from the top of the head and 1.5 inches left of the midline near the scapular region. It was roughly eye-shaped defect, 1.5 inches in greatest diameter, with exposure of subcutaneous tissue. The exit wound was near the shoulder, 13 inches from the top of the head and 5 inches left of the midline. In its path, the bullet traversed the soft tissues of the back. The bullet jacket fragment was recovered within the wound path. The direction of the wound was right to left, upward, and back to front. Labeled E, this entrance wound was on the right flank, 20 inches from the top of the head on the mid-axillary line. It was an oval defect, 0.75 inches in greatest diameter. There was injury to the right diaphragm and liver with extensive fragmentation of the projectile. Labeled F, this was a graze wound to the left ingular region, 34 inches from the top of the head and 2 inches left of the midline with injury to the soft tissue only. Its direction cannot be determined. The wounds on the back were surrounded by multiple irregular shaped defects with injury to subcutaneous tissues only. Jumping down, the manner of death is homicide, and that was signed by Dr. Carl Schmidt back on Friday, September 30th, 2022 at 9:27 a.m. Moving to Exhibit 2, Your Honor, this is from Medical Examiner case number 22-10964, performed on Andre Willis by Dr. Lokman Lung, Deputy Chief Medical Examiner on August 2nd, 2022. It is my opinion that death was caused by multiple gunshot wounds as follows. There are 12 gunshot wounds on the body, 2 in the neck, 7 in the back, 1 in the right hip, and 2 in the left leg. There was no soot or gunpowder stippling noted on the skin surrounding any of the wounds. Unless otherwise stated, the wound tracks are described when the body is viewed in a standard anatomical position. Jumping to page 2, Your Honor, this is ruled as the manner of death as a homicide. Page 3, signed by Dr. Lokman Sung, back on November 7th, 2022. And finally, Your Honor, the Exhibit 3 of the Michigan State Police Crime Lab Report, referring to laboratory number MD22-2369. The evidence received in container 1 was 16 shell casings, all of which were 7.69 by 39 millimeter calibers. And then container 2, which was one 7.62 caliber Century Arms firearm. The results of the physical/microscopic examination were that items 1A through 1P fired cartridge cases are identified as having been fired from item 2A of the rifle. And that was signed by Ellen Straussing on page 3 back on September 7th, 2022. Your Honor, for the record, that is the final preliminary matter.
All right. Ready for your first witness?
Yes, Your Honor.
Please call.
All right, this time the people call Jalen Steens to the stand.
Ms. Cross?
Yes, Judge.
Are you ready on Jones?
Yes.
Okay. Give me just a minute. We're going to change gears. And as soon as she gets his name, we'll call Jones. Sir, please raise your right hand. You swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you, sir. Please have a seat in the witness box there. Speaking to that microphone, it's to your left. Pull it down to your mouth, speak directly into that voice, okay? You may begin when you're ready.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Oh, wait a minute, hold on. Before you do that, we do this real quick. Let's call Mr. Jones.
Calling case number 2305-757401, people of the state of Michigan versus Akil Jones. Defendant is charged in count 1, assault with a dangerous weapon. Count 2, domestic violence, second offense notice. Defendant has a habitual offender, second offense notice.
Yes, for the record, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. P86743. Jessica Davidoff for people.
Good morning, Your Honor. Sarah Kraus. I am standing in for the attorney of record, Gabby Silver, for Mr. Jones. My P number is 81830.
Mr. Jones, tell us your name for the record.
Akil Lamar Jones Bowie.
Okay, so Mr. Jones has a couple of matters here. He has a probable cause conference with me. He also has a tether violation. Let's deal with the tether violation.
Basically, see, I was.
Mr. Jones, please don't speak. Judge, I have not seen a copy of the tether violation. Do you know if that was emailed to Ms. Silver?
Oh, I don't know. I just got back here today. But I'll be happy to read portions of it to you. As you know, Mr. Jones was enrolled in the tether program back on July 3rd. He was placed on house arrest. By July 5th, he violated by leaving the home. He was tracked going to a liquor store. And didn't return to the home. That's about the long and short of it.
Okay, Judge.
How would you like to proceed?
Judge, I would ask that Mr. Jones's bond be reinstated at this time. It's quite possible that he did not know he was under house arrest without actually seeing the report, Judge, or a file. I don't have much more to say than that.
He was told he was on house arrest. Please don't give me that one. I'm gonna put you in a breakout room so you can speak with him, okay?
Thank you.
Go ahead and join the breakout room. Okay, back on the record on People versus Kirkley. You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning, Mr. Steen. Could you again just state your name for the record, sir? Thank you, sir.
I would ask that he speak a little louder, Judge.
Is that turned on?
I don't think
See
so.
the red light?
That's good.
All right.
So, Mr. Steen, I want to draw your attention back to July 31st of last year, 2022, specifically in the early hours of that morning, okay?
I'm not sure what you over there doing, giving me all this noise.
Try to set that whistle on my
Let's
pocket.
get that plate in your head, right? Hold on a second.
Where were you that morning, Mr. Steen?
Do I have to say the address or just say where I was?
What street were you on?
Oh, I was on Coy.
Were you at any specific building on that street?
Home.
Whose home? Was that your home?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I apologize. And who else lived with you in that area, sir?
My auntie, my cousin, my auntie and two of my cousins.
Gotcha. And at some point in the early hours that morning, did something unusual happen?
No.
Nothing unusual happened?
No. Oh, you said the 31st or the 30th?
The 31st, that early morning?
That morning?
Yes, sir.
I didn't do much. I just know I was shocked. That was it.
Okay. Where were you?
In the house.
Where were you in the house?
I was at the door. Once I heard it, I was at the door.
You said you heard it. What did you hear?
I heard gunshot.
How many gunshots did you hear?
About 15 plus at first.
At first, what do you mean at first?
It stopped and then it started again.
Okay, so you hear about 15 gunshots. It stops. How long does it stop?
Not long at all.
Okay. When you say not long, minutes, seconds?
Maybe a minute and a half.
Okay. And then what happens after that minute and a half?
About after that minute and a half, when the second round of gunshots started coming, I know I was hit. I turned around, and once I turned around, I seen a bunch more of my people that were shot too. So then I didn't know what to do. I just laid down.
Were you still by that front door when you laid down?
I went in front of the couch and laid down.
Okay. Now, you said you were shot. Where were you then, sir?
I got hit in my chest cavity. It went through straight on my back.
Okay. So when you say it went through, you're pointing to your right chest here?
Yeah, my right chest cavity. It went through straight on my back.
Did you at any point see anybody with a firearm, sir?
Before the shooting happened, I seen a man walk into a house and drop a book bag and then come back out with a firearm. That's when I ran in the house.
And about how long before the first round of gunshots was that?
The second he stepped out the door.
So it was quick?
Yeah.
Okay. So you, just to be clear, so you saw someone come out with a gun?
I saw someone go in,
Okay.
drop a book bag, go, come back out with a weapon. I didn't know where he went when he went in, but I know he came back out with a weapon. It was the Rango truck out there. Once he started shooting, I went house.
You say he went in somewhere. What kind of location did this person go
It
in?
was a house. He went in the house.
Okay. Where is the house in relationship to your aunt's?
My house?
Yes, sir.
Across the street.
When you say across the street, is it straight ahead?
Directly across the street.
Okay. Do you know the address of that particular house?
No.
Okay. And this is still on Oil Street?
Yeah.
What kind of, could you describe the gun?
No, it was dark. I just seen, it was a rifle for sure.
Okay. You know what color it was?
It was black.
Okay. Were you able to observe any of the characteristics of this person that you saw?
No,
Okay.
no, I'm so bad.
Do you know anyone to live at the house across the street?
Nope,
Do you know how many people live at that house?
nope, never seen them until then.
Apart from that firearm with the man that came outside, did you see anyone else with a firearm that day, sir?
No,
As a result of your injuries, did you have to go get medical treatment?
actually 3 surgeries, 5 procedures.
Were you hospitalized
For a month.
for a month? Thank you, Your Honor. I have no more questions for Mr. Steen at this time. Thank you, Mr. Steen.
Counsel. Yes. Good morning, Mr. Steen. And I believe you testified that you lived on Coral Street, is that correct?
Yes.
And who did you live with there?
Mine,
What's your auntie's name, if I may ask?
Sophia Steen,
Sophia Steen. And anyone else in that house besides the two of you?
my 2 cousins,
And what are their names, please?
Taviana Steen and Derico Williams.
Okay. So was there anything in particular going on at the Steen household on this evening of the 30th and early morning hours of the 31st?
We were celebrating a birthday.
Celebrating a birthday, okay? And were there a lot of people there?
Yeah.
And this party that was going on, were there a lot of people inside the house?
We were mainly inside the house.
Mainly inside the house, but was there an overflow outside as far as you know?
No, a few people stepped on the porch to get air, and that's how I seen things that happen.
So when you say you saw the outside, did you see a particular car outside across the street?
Just my car and the Durango in front of my car.
Okay, and this Durango, was it blocking the side drive or any part of that house across the street?
It was parked in front of my car, so it had to be blocking the driveway because I was parked directly in front of the house.
Okay. So to your knowledge, did any argument break out at that Durango? To your knowledge now, what you
To
see?
my knowledge, no, I didn't hear anything. I heard like a little piece of the end, which made me and trying to look across.
Okay. Did you see anybody with a gun in that Durango?
No.
Okay. And to your knowledge, or what you've seen, if any encounter at that Durango, you know how long it lasted for?
No.
Okay. So you're saying that you were shot, is that correct?
Yes.
And you were in the house at the time?
Yes.
Were you at the doorway or any other part of the house?
I was at the front door.
Anyone around you at that time?
When I got shot, I turned around and was trying to leave to get to the bathroom. I felt that I wasn't gonna make it, so I dropped on the floor. I couldn't see the ground.
Okay. And what were lighting conditions outside, if you remember?
I didn't hear the detail.
What were lighting conditions like outside?
It was dark.
It was dark. What about street lights? Were there a lot of street lights out?
No, it was street light on.
You saying on?
Yeah, it was a street light on.
Okay, and where was the street light in relation to that house across the street?
It was, if my house was here, it was to the right of my house. It was to the.
So it would have been the next house over on the opposite side of the street?
If not the next house, the next house after that.
1 or 2 houses over?
Yeah, one little house.
Okay. And you heard no argument going on, is that right?
I just heard a little piece of the engine. I didn't hear it again.
Okay. This party, were people drinking?
Yeah.
And any other intoxicants that might have been used?
No.
In particular, were you drinking on medication?
No.
How old are you, may I ask?
20.
20? Okay. And no other intoxicants?
No.
Did you see anybody else shot?
I did. I seen my uncle's baby mother. She came in the house. She was shot in the leg.
So you saw them afterwards, you didn't actually?
I saw once I got shot. I saw a few people shot. Once I was already shot. I saw the hole in her chin. I saw my uncle's baby mother within the house.
You saw them wounded, but you actually didn't see them shot, is that what you're trying
I
to
said,
say?
yeah. I didn't see the issue.
All right, then, thank you.
Can you redirect?
Very briefly, if I may, Your Honor. You said, Mr. Steen, just to pick up where we left off, that you saw your uncle's baby's mother had an injury in her leg, you said? Is that a yes?
Yeah.
What's her name?
I just know her about Marcy.
Marsha?
Marcy.
Marcy?
Yeah.
And prior to all the shooting, did she have any physical injuries on her?
I don't know.
Gunshot wound, did you see,
Yeah, I see.
did you see it, did you see her with that gunshot wound before the shoot?
I don't know.
Sorry, Your Honor, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Steen.
Sir, you say that you lived there, that location, how long have you lived there?
I have been living there for about, I moved there. I have been living there for about 5 months.
Okay. You say you had never seen that guy before, is that right?
No, I had never seen it.
So you also described that there was 2 rounds of shots at you, is that right?
Yeah, I heard about that.
Okay, so the first round of shots that you heard, were you shot during that first round or the second round?
The second.
You were shot. Okay, so there were some shots, and then you said you ran in the house, is that right?
Right, first round, I got shot through the door.
Okay, so you were already in the house when you were shot? I guess?
Yeah.
And when asked if you heard any fights or arguments, you said you heard the end of it. A little piece, what did you hear?
I just heard like commotion, like loud, like people talking loud, I thought it was like people having around the front. And I see a thing walking in the house.
Talking to microphone.
I said, then I look over, I see a man walking in the house, and I look back, and out again.
Okay. So you heard the tail end of it before you saw him emerge with the gun, is that right?
Before I saw him walking.
Okay. This Durango that you're talking about, it was parked in front of your vehicle. You know whose Durango that was?
No.
Was it associated with anybody at the party?
No.
Any questions based on my questions?
Not for me, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, sir. You may step. Next witness, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. At this time, the people call Daniel Stubbs. Mr. Stubbs.
No.
Oh, I thought it was. Got it, okay. We'll move on. Who's walking? We have this promise. We're gonna change it up slightly. We'll call Ms. Dorothea Robinson. Okay.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Thank you. Please have a seat with the response there. Speaking to that microphone is to your left. Begin when you're ready.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning, ma'am. Could you just state your name for the record, please?
Dorothea Robinson.
Thank you. Ms. Robinson, I want to draw your attention back to the early hours of July 31st, 2022. Where were you that morning?
Coyle and Plymouth.
Do you, what brought you to that area?
I'm sorry.
Why were you over there?
It was a gathering going on at my sister-in-law's house.
And who's your sister-in-law?
Sophia Steen.
I want to specifically jump into that early morning, okay, Ms. Robinson? Did something unusual happen while you were there?
Yes,
What was that?
a shooting occurred.
You say a shooting. Where were you when that started?
I was on the porch.
Ms. Steen's house?
Yes,
How many gunshots did you hear at first?
I don't know the exact amount I heard. It just sounded like a grenade went off to me. So maybe that was every shot that I heard.
Okay. After the shooting begins, what happens? What do you do?
I looked around, I was looking for my cousin because he was from out of town. He was with me and he was outside and I ran outside to get him.
Who's your cousin?
Christian Moore.
And so you indicated you ran from the porch to where?
To across the street where the gunshots were coming from.
Did you see where the gunshots were coming from?
No,
You say across the street, though. From what you heard, did you know what direction these gunshots were coming from?
yes.
And where was that?
Well, I was running to the right to my car, so the gunshots was coming from my left.
When you say from the left, is that the same side of the oil that you're on or the other side?
The other side.
Where was your car parked in relationship to Miss Steen's house?
Her house was like right in the middle. I was like to the back, to the right.
What kind of car did you have that day?
A 2020 CRV Honda black.
So you ran towards your car after the first few shots. What happens next?
Then I grabbed my cousin, told him to stay down and get behind me. And then I ran into the house. And when I walked in the house, that's when he told me my face was open.
Did you feel anything at that point?
Yes, it felt like somebody threw some hot water on me.
When you first felt that feeling of the hot water, where were you at when that happened?
In the house.
You were in the house?
Yes.
Okay. Prior to that evening,
We gotta call Frank. Gabi said never mind.
sorry, not a problem. Prior to the shooting starting, did you have any issues with, or any injuries on your face?
No,
Any other injuries on your body at all?
no,
So you indicated that you had this feeling of hot water. Did you hear anything at the time?
no.
Now, prior to this all going down, did you see anything that of interest to you about the shooting?
Sorry, can you rephrase the question?
Did anything raise your suspicion prior to the shooting?
Yes, when he was originally walking up the street, he looked kind of agitated.
Did you know who this person was?
No, I asked my sister-in-law, she said,
Without telling us what your sister might have said. During the shooting or before or after, did you ever see any firearms?
yes,
Where were those?
in the house,
In what house?
Sophia,
Okay, did those ever leave the house?
not to my knowledge.
Did you see any firearms outside the house?
Yes,
Where was that?
in the car,
Okay, were those firearms ever used?
I didn't see it.
Was there any altercation prior to the shooting that you observed?
No,
You said this was a party going on?
correct.
What kind of party was that?
A birthday party,
Okay. Drinking?
yes,
Did you have anything to drink that evening, Ms. Robinson? Were you intoxicated?
No, it's not.
Okay. Was there any other drug use being done that evening?
Not to my knowledge.
Just want to be sure. So after the shooting started, did you see anyone else with it? Did you see anyone?
Yes,
Who?
Dino,
Who's Dino?
Sophia's boyfriend.
Okay. What kind of gun did he have?
I'm not for sure it was black. I'm not familiar with gun types.
Long gun, short gun,
Short gun.
handgun?
Yes.
What, if anything, did you see happen with that gun?
He was in the car and he just had it sitting on his lap.
When you say the car, which car was that?
He had a truck. I'm not familiar with the kind of truck he had.
What color was it?
Black.
When you say truck, how many doors?
4.
Long bed or like a flatbed?
Long. It was trying to remind of a Suburban.
More of a Suburban?
Yeah.
Now, as a result of the injuries you sustained, did you seek medical attention?
Yes.
Were you hospitalized?
Yes.
For how
Just today I had to have emergency surgery.
long? And after that, did you have to do any follow-up care or appointments?
Yes, I had to go to the hospital. As soon as I got released, I had to go back because I continued to bleed. And then after that, I had to go to physical therapy 3 times out the week.
And I don't want to ask about your diagnoses or anything like that, but where on your body were you injured? Apart from your face?
I got shot in my right arm. It blew my whole shoulder blade. It went through my neck and it came out of my face.
For the record, you pointed to your right upper arm and
Yes,
across your right
my
chest.
shoulder blade, it blew all that. Then it went through my neck and came out of my face.
Thank you, Ms. Robinson. Your Honor, I have no further questions at this time.
Cross examine.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I believe you testified that you were at Ms. Sting's house on Coyle.
Correct.
And when did you arrive that evening?
Like maybe 1:30.
AM?
Yes.
Okay. And how long afterwards did this altercation, this gunfire arise? Did you remember?
I believe I was there like maybe 20 to 35 minutes before I heard a gunshot.
And when you came there, you entered the house, is that right?
Correct.
And you came with a Mr. Moore, Kristen Moore?
Correct.
And did he go in the house with you?
Yes.
Did he eventually leave the house?
Yes.
And after he left the house, was it around that time that the gunfire started?
It was maybe like 10 minutes because when he went outside to answer his phone, I went to the restroom and then I heard a gunshot and then I noticed he wasn't in the house and that's when I went outside.
So when you went outside, did you see this truck, this Durango, across the street?
No.
You said that you saw somebody with a gun
Correct.
in a vehicle. What kind of vehicle was it?
It was black. I don't know the make and model.
Okay. And was that the vehicle that was blocking your driveway? Was it blocking your driveway? Was not?
No.
Where was it parked in relation to Miss Steve's house?
Like it was like 2 houses and then a truck from this thing's house.
Okay. So you knew the people inside that truck?
I knew one, yes.
And what would that person's name be?
Dino.
Did you know his name?
No, that's just his name.
And you saw him with a gun, though, is that correct?
Yes.
Did it have an extended clip on it as well?
No.
All right. Did you see him do anything with that gun?
No.
Did he make any threats that you know?
No.
he say something like, I'm gonna take care of this?
No,
So when the gunfire started, that's when you left the house, is that right?
no.
You left the
When the gunshots, they started when I was in the bathroom, then they stopped. Then I went outside and then they started back up.
Okay. And when you went outside, you went to where Mr. Moore was?
Correct.
And was that directly across the street? Was it further down the street?
It was like, not down the street, it was like a house where the shooting was coming from, then another house, and then my car.
Was it on the same side of the street as Miss Stevens?
No,
It was across the street?
Yeah.
So he's approximately across the street, 2 houses down?
Correct.
And did you know anything about the vehicles directly across the street from Miss Stevens' house?
No,
How's the lighting like?
the lighting part is,
Street lights, anything like that?
I wasn't paying attention to that. I don't know.
Okay, was it dark outside?
It was,
Too dark for you to identify things going on?
yes.
Any other people outside at that time that you know?
I wasn't paying attention, I don't know.
All right, nothing else.
You redirect? I got it. So you said that there was some shots that were going on while you were in the bathroom, is that right?
Yes,
You came out the bathroom and you went outside?
correct.
Why did you do that?
To go get my little cousin, he's 19, he's not from here, he was with me, and I was making sure he was okay.
Okay. Who's your little cousin?
Christian Moore,
You went outside, is that when you were hit in the face, your shoulder?
I'm not for sure, I didn't even know that I was hit until I got my cousin, and he told me my face was hanging open.
So you said that there were guns in the house,
Yes,
in the house that you were in?
correct.
You know whose guns those were?
No, I didn't see him, I just told when the police came that they found guns in the house.
Oh, you didn't see them?
No, I just saw the one Dino had on his lap in his car.
Okay, so it's important that you tell us what you saw, what you heard, not what someone told you, okay?
Yes,
So you saw Dino with a gun, you saw that yourself, is that right?
correct.
You said he was in his vehicle, he had the gun in his lap,
Yes.
you know why?
When he pulled up, he had it in his lap, and I said, "Why you got a gun?" He said, "I always carry it."
Okay. But you didn't see Dino get into an argument with you?
No,
When this shooting started, did you see Dino shoot back
no,
or shoot at anyone?
no.
Any questions based on my questions?
So just to be clear, yes, sir, I'm sorry. Ms. Robinson, did you see any firearms in Ms. Steen's house?
No,
So apart from the pistol you described earlier, did you see any other firearms?
no.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I have a moment. Nothing else.
Thank you, ma'am, you may sit down. That looks like what you did here.
Your Honor, at this time, the people called Jonathan Griffin to the stand.
Okay. guys are familiar. Okay. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have you go to the front door, turn left, come out the front door, walk out to the corner. You know where the examiner's office is, right? It's on one. So I think 75, is it still closed right there?
Yes, it's
It's still closed? I don't know if it's closed. Okay, all right. Yes. Yeah, 75. Sir, give the young lady there your name. You have it already. Please raise your right hand, sir. You swear or affirm to tell the truth. Over here. If you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. Yes. Thank you, sir. Please have a seat in the witness box next to me. Give me 1 second, gentlemen. Ms. Cross, are you ready?
Yes, I am, Judge.
Okay, we are back on the record on People versus Akil Jones, case number 23057574001. Actually, we were doing is tether violation. How would you like to proceed on that, Ms. Cross? Is he pleading guilty to the violation?
He would like to offer a plea of guilty with an explanation, Judge. He is allowed out of house arrest. He has an ill mother who he acts as her caregiver. She is in the process of moving right now.
I'm sorry, does his ill mother live at the liquor store?
He maintains that he went there for his mother.
Okay. So he doesn't understand what house arrest means?
Judge, I did explain it to him in further detail. I am asking that his bond be reinstated at this time.
So on July 3rd, he was enrolled in the tether program, and it was explained to him and he agreed. He was given the rules and regulations by the Wayne County Sheriff's Office tether program, including the conditions of the arrest. What was it you didn't understand, sir?
Sir, I'm under the impression that I was not given a fair shot as far as my tether in the first place. When I let the judge know that I take care of my mom's and that she's disabled and she can't get around, I really meant that. She's in the process of moving, as well as my grandmother. I'm sorry, I understand that there's rules of the court, but I refuse to just be at home and can't do nothing and provide for my mother. That's all I'm saying.
Ms. Cross, he refused to abide by the rules of the tether program.
That's not necessarily true. What I'm saying is I hold the value of my mother above a tether.
Mr. Jones, please do not speak.
I'm just being honest. It say speak the truth and nothing but it.
So the conditions of his tether was that he was placed on house arrest, allowed to travel for court and medical reasons, as well as his mother's medical appointments only. Now, what business did you have at the liquor store? I can't hear you.
Getting her wound supplies, sir. She has diabetic leg ulcers.
From the liquor store?
It was a CVS. A liquor store is connected to it on the other side.
I really don't like his attitude, Ms. Cross.
I apologize for my attitude, but I'm under urgency because my mother is in the process of moving. If she don't move, then her house been in foreclosure. That's
He has a poor attitude, and he pretty much conveyed to the court that he doesn't care what we say, he's going to do what he has to do, period. And I'm going to show him otherwise. So what he doesn't understand is that the tether was not a right, it was a privilege.
I do understand that.
So you took my gift and you threw it in my face. When I said house arrest, and we even allowed for you these other conditions for you to take your mother to medical appointments and for you to travel to court and for your own medical purposes as well. I thought the court was very generous in allowing that. But in addition to that, not only did you go to the liquor store, you never returned home.
That is not true.
So you have an issue. And on top of everything else, we're relying on. Anything else?
Yes.
None of this.
Yeah. Your Honor.
Mr. Jones, I would advise you not to speak at this time as counsel, but if you choose otherwise, that's up to you.
Yes, I choose otherwise because it's a lot of things you don't understand. Judge, what I want to say is when I did not return home, I was going to help my mother fill out the application for her new apartment. Plus, I had to help her get there, get in the apartment and everything about that. So when I didn't return home, she was taking the rest of her friend's place and we was going to return back home. This is not a case of me going to the liquor store and just staying out and going and hanging and riding around. That's not what this was. This was me helping my mother out. That's the God honest truth. I'm asking for leniency because she really do need my help. I'm the only one that she has right now. She has little kids around her. She doesn't have anybody in my age that can help take care of her right now. So I am asking for leniency. Thank you. I do understand that the court has been very lenient and letting me go to her medical appointments and to my court date, which I missed because my phone bill haven't been paid due to me just being on tether. That's the reason why I missed my court date yesterday. It's a lot of things that's going on.
I didn't know you missed the court date also.
Yes, I did. I'm telling you that I'm being honest. I don't have no reason to lie to you about anything. It's just she needs me right now. I have a PPO that's been served to me that I cannot go to
Mr. Jones, that's enough. That's enough. Judge, he was originally scheduled for yesterday. It's my understanding that Ms. Silver received a message from your court clerk indicating that the PCC was moved to today.
People?
Your Honor, based on what was said, I would leave it up to the court's discretion regarding bond, but I would object to another tether.
I don't think he could have dug a bigger hole for me if I gave him a shovel. Ms. Cross, can you give me Mom's phone number if you have it?
Judge, I do not have it right now.
I'm gonna put you in a breakout room, let them give it to you, and then you can send it to me, okay?
Okay.
Go ahead and join the breakout room. Okay, we are back on the record on People versus Winston Kirby Jr. Mr. Hicks.
Kehoe, Judge.
Kehoe, I'm sorry.
No problem. Good morning, Mr. Griffin. Could you just state your name, please?
Jonathan Griffin.
Thank you, sir. I want to draw your attention to the early morning hours of July 31st, 2022. Where were you at, sir?
Home.
And I don't need to know the exact address, sir, but what's the nearest intersection to your home?
Plymouth. Greenville.
At some point, did something unusual happen in the early hours of that morning, sir?
I heard very, very loud bangs.
How many of those, sir?
Substantial, that I can't recall.
Okay, and when you heard these loud bangs, what did you do?
Sat in my backyard for a moment until they stopped. Once they stopped, I heard a lot of screaming. And because of who I am in my neighborhood, I went to go see if I could help anybody who was hurt or possibly injured.
Now, you say your neighborhood, how long have you lived in this particular area?
20 years.
Where, in relation to your home, did the screaming come from? Or could you tell what direction it was coming from?
Yeah, it was coming from the east or eastbound. It's right around my neighbor Janique's house.
What, did you say her name again?
Janique.
Janique? Okay. Is that a yes?
Yeah.
Okay. What street does Janique live on?
Coyle.
When you heard the screaming, you said you took off. Where'd you go?
I went through the alley and ended up in the middle of Coyle. And then the young man said,
Without telling us what the young man said. So you get onto Coyle, what did you do?
I was looking for where the screams were coming from and found that they were coming from a house, but then I was stopped abruptly from moving forward in that direction.
What stopped
you? A gentleman was behind the car. I'm guessing he was returning fire to some young lady, and he said for me to get down because there was somebody shooting for food.
Okay. Did you at this point look around, or what did you do?
I'm going to object to any hearsay here.
I heard, what did you do? Now what you said.
No, I don't repeat it.
I don't think that question asked for hearsay. Overruled, may proceed.
What did you do in response?
Kind of froze, and I kind of just knelt down, trying to, I guess, beeline my way back to a tree that was behind me.
Okay. At this particular moment, where are you? And
I am 200 feet from Plymouth, from Coyle.
okay. You said there was an individual behind a car. Is that what you said?
Yes.
What kind of car was this individual?
I'm not sure. It was black. It was just late. It was dark.
Okay. You said he had a gun?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
Did you ever see this individual fire the gun?
No.
Okay. Did you see anyone else with a fire?
No.
What happens next?
I started trying to crawl or scoot my way back to the tree, and then I felt a piercing in my side, and at that moment I kind of knew I was hit, and I just crawled back to the tree, and then I lay down and just waited for everything else.
So when you felt this piercing on your side, you said, did you hear anything at that time?
I didn't hear anything, so there were no sounds when I got there, and then the shooting started again after I arrived.
So the second round of shooting, did you, how many gunshots?
I know I got clipped, and then I think I heard 3 more, but I'm not positive.
Okay, so three to four?
Yeah, something like that.
Once you got to the tree, did you see anything else?
No, just the stars.
Not literal stars, right?
No, literal stars.
You're looking up?
Yeah.
Okay. At any point, other than that individual with the gun behind the truck, did you see anyone else?
A young lady was with them. She ended up slapping me in my face a few times to stay awake.
Okay. Anyone else?
The gentleman, I think, who had the gun, he grabbed my arm and he pulled me further away from the area. If I'm not mistaken, I think he was bleeding, but I'm not sure.
As a result of your injuries, did you seek any medical attention?
Oh, I died twice. I had to be resuscitated. I don't know what you call it. So the bullet went through my colon and intestines and it ended up in my leg. And so I was in ICU for 2 weeks and regular care for another 2.5, something like that. About a month.
So about a month of hospitalization? Is that yes?
Yes.
After the hospitalization, were you required to do any follow-up care?
I had physical therapy for about 2 months. Then went back to work October 16th.
Prior, I apologize, what did you say?
But I forced myself back to work October 16th.
One moment, here, I come in.
So while you're doing that, give me 1 second.
speak.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. Couple of things, Mr. Griffin, that I wanted to clear up. You said, someone named Janique lived on Coyle? Is that a yes?
Yeah.
Who was Janique to you?
Just friends, known each other for long as I lived it.
Now, when that second round of shooting is happening, could you tell where the gunshots were coming from?
I could not.
And what about the first round? Could you tell what direction these were coming from?
I was at home during the first rounds, so the first round I could just hear them from my house, and I just knew the area where I could hear them. It was so close.
I don't think I asked you earlier about how many of these bangs did you hear during the first round?
And again, it's a lot, just an unsubstantial amount for me to be able to calculate and say, this is how many it was.
So just so I got it right, so the first round you said there were a lot.
There was just a lot.
The second round was about 3 or 4.
Yeah, I feel like that. I don't know, after I got shot, it kind of.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have no further questions.
Cross.
Yes, please. Morning. Now, I believe that you testified that you were at your home. Is that a yes, sir?
Yes.
Okay. And were you alone at your home? Was anybody else in the?
My brother or my best friend lived in my basement at the time.
And were they home?
Yes,
Were they in the yard with you?
no, he was asleep.
So no one accompanied you to this address or to the next street over?
No.
And you heard what you thought were gunshots, is that correct?
Yes.
And this is the point where you thought you heard a lot of gunshots.
Yeah.
And you can tell the direction they were coming from?
Yeah.
Did you phone the police at this time?
No.
Okay. And did you immediately start from that location, or did you wait for the gunfire to subside?
I waited for the gunfire to cease.
Okay. And once that happened, that's when you started out?
No, I heard, it took a second, I heard people screaming, that's when I started.
Okay. So how far away is Whittle Street from the street that you was on?
1 block.
1 block? A full block, half block?
So 4 block.
A full block. And I take it you walked over, is that correct?
Yes.
And when you got there, what was the lighting like on Coyle at that time?
So on Coyle, there are, like Sussex, so there are 1, 2, 3 street lamps. The one street lamp that I was under is on the corner, the other one is in the middle of the street, and then the other is at the end of the block.
Okay. And were they all working?
Yes.
Was there a lot of lighting coming from any houses along the way, or the houses stuff?
No, house.
Okay. And did you actually reach somebody before you were shot?
Just the guy who told me to stop.
Told you to stop?
Yeah.
Was that person moved it?
I'm not sure. I feel like he had blood on it, but I don't.
Okay. And how long after you stopped were you yourself?
A minute and a half, 2 minutes, maybe.
Okay. Were you able to tell which direction the gunfire was coming from?
So this is peculiar on my part, just because when I got shot, it felt like it was so close. Like he possibly could have been standing over me, but I'm not.
So you don't know for sure, is that correct?
I'm not for sure where the bullet went. I don't think he was, because somebody told me that if he was that close to the wrong side.
So, in other words, you don't know.
I
And once you were wounded, did that take your concentration away from what was going on around you?
Yeah.
So you were able to still see and appreciate what was going on?
I was able to see the tree that I was aiming for.
Sorry?
I was able to see the tree I was aiming for.
What do you mean by aiming for? You trying to get to?
Trying to get to the tree.
For shelter?
Yeah.
Did you see any flashes? Did you just heard the gun? Is that yes?
Yes.
Did it seem to be a distance from you or closer to?
I'm sorry,
Did it seem to be a gunfire? Did it seem to be a distance
I mean,
down the street?
Yeah, not far though. It was a 1, 2, 3. I'm at that part. Got 3 houses, so you're within 6 houses of where the gunfire could be taking place. 3 houses on one side, 3 houses on the other.
And when you were, I'm sorry to cut you off.
I was saying 3 houses on the eastbound side, 3 houses on the westbound side, I'm southbound near Coyle, and standing in the same spot. So all the sound same.
Can you redirect? Thank you, sir. You may step back. Give me one moment. Let me deal with this one last time. Okay, back on the record on People versus Akil Jones. So, Mr. Jones, there's a couple of things you need to know about me. One is that I'm far from stupid. And 2, I don't like to be lied to. So it's very important that you be honest, completely honest with me right now. How did you get to your mother's?
I walked and got on the bus.
When you got to your mother's, where did you go?
When I got to my mother's, I cleaned up for her and everything like that. And then I went to a CVS. It's on I walked with my little sister.
I tried to warn you. Maybe I should have told you. I just got off the phone with your mother. So let's try it again. How did you get where you were going? Yeah, right.
A friend had okay. I remember now. Okay.
Yeah.
A friend of hers and mine had pulled up because we're both her caregiver, basically. And I had asked her.
You told me she didn't have anybody but you. Remember that?
We changed shifts.
Then I hear about Al. I know all about Al. You forgot about him?
Yes, I forgot about a lot of stuff.
I tried to warn you, I don't like to be lied to, sir. You're wasting my time. I have some very pressing things going on right here. And you feed me this nonsense.
My memory is not great. I wasn't thinking.
Obviously. So, Ms. Cross, I cannot trust this man. I can't trust him to tell me the truth. I can't trust him to abide by the conditions of his tether. He's not going to do it. He wants to do what he wants to do. And furthermore, he has a mother that, for the most part, co-signs for him. And I guess I can understand that. That's what mothers do for their sons from time to time. But I tried to warn him. I don't like to be lied to, and I'm far from stupid. But I guess he didn't believe me.
I'm sorry, Judge, I can't hear you. Are you able to hear me? No.
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, Judge.
All right, the defendant heard me though.
I didn't hear you. You went blank after a while.
All right, so I'll say it again. I told you I'm far from stupid and I don't like to be lied to. But apparently you didn't believe me. So unfortunately, I can't trust this man. I can't trust him to tell me the truth. I can't trust him to abide by the conditions of his tether. And what makes matters worse, he has a mom that's willing to co-sign for him, which I guess I can understand because mothers sometimes do that with their sons. But I'm gonna set his bond at 25,000 cash surety. Now, does he have another case with me? He has a second case, is that right?
I don't believe so, Judge. If he does, we only have one.
Because his name
I
sounds
believe
familiar.
the second matter.
5,000 cash or surety. What did I do to you, man?
First of all, I'm not your man.
No, you're not my man, obviously, but I'm saying, what did I do to you? Because I went to a liquor store and I forgot that I went there? She obviously told you everything that I did. $25,000?
Yes, sir. You wanna try, is that not enough? You wanna try 50?
Do your thing, my partner. You already did the worst. You
Gotta be
can't take me no
50,000.
further.
50,000 cash.
Do 100,000. Do 100.
Okay, that's even better, 100,000 cash surety. He's all set. Bye-bye.
And you didn't say anything.
Ms. Kraus, let's see. How is July 14th at 12:30? For example.
I can make that work, Judge.
All right.
At 12:30?
Yeah, 100,000 cash surety. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Talking. Okay, we're back on the record on People versus Curtis.
Thank you, Your Honor. This time the people call Marsha Owens to the stand.
You have her name?
I have, yes.
Please step forward, ma'am. Please raise your right hand. You swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Please have a seat in the witness box next to me. Keep your voice up nice and loud, and speak into that microphone that's going to be to your left, okay? Maybe again when you're ready.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning, ma'am. Could you just state your name for the record, please?
Marcia Owens.
Thank you, Ms. Owens. I want to draw your attention back to the early morning hours of July 31st of 2022, okay?
Yes.
Where were you during those early hours?
On 40th Street,
What brought you to that area?
a party.
Do you know who lives on what?
I don't know, I was with a friend that invited me,
Okay, who was your friend?
Sophia.
Sophia, okay. About how many people were at this party?
And I got there 10.
Now, while you're at this party, there's something unusual in it.
Yeah,
What happened?
a guy that was across the street that came out and shoot.
Oh, let's break that down. You say across the street. Did you see where this person came from?
Yes, right across the street from the house that I was at.
Okay. And he appeared, where did he come from?
In his front door, from his front door.
And you say it's across the street, you're at a house at this time?
Yeah, I'm standing on the porch,
Okay. And across the street, is that directly across, the left to the right?
directly up.
Did you know the address of that house across the street?
No, I don't know.
And this is still in Foil.
Yes.
Could you describe this person you saw coming out?
Yeah.
Had you seen this person before?
No, basically I was just speaking on it. I never seen him come out before. I never seen him.
Had you ever been over in this area before?
Yes,
About how many times?
probably like 5.
Okay. All with Miss Steen?
Huh?
Was this all with Miss Steen?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
But you had never seen this particular individual before?
Uh-uh.
That's a no.
No,
When you saw this individual, did this person have anything?
yes,
What?
big old book.
Okay. You say a big gun, would that be a long gun or a short gun?
It was long.
Okay. You're kind of holding it like this.
Yeah, yeah, that's how I seen him coming.
Okay, so for the record, you're holding your hand on what would be the handle and then down the firearm?
I don't know if it's the handle. I'm not, I just know he was holding when he was coming. I was seeing him. He was walking.
Okay. And you're using 2 arms?
Yes,
Okay, and what was he doing with the firearm?
just coming across the street, walking, shooting, coming.
Okay, you say he was shooting it?
Yeah.
Did you see him shooting it?
Yes.
Describe what it looked like.
I don't know if it was blackish or black green. I'm not for sure. It was dark. I just knew when I seen him come, I was in emotion. I'm not for sure exactly what color it was.
Okay, what did you hear if anything?
I heard 2 different shots, 2 different type of sounds coming out. Because I know it started shooting first time. And that's when I got the running back. And then different times when I seen him come out the house. I didn't see him the first time. I seen him the second time.
Okay, so when you're describing this individual walking with the gun pointed, is that yes?
Yes,
Okay, was that the first time you heard gunshots or the second time?
the second time.
Okay, let's go back to that first time. Okay. When was that in relationship to the second time?
Okay, the first time is when I heard it and I was running and I'm coming down the street. And
Where were you coming from?
2 houses over, I was walking, I'm on the phone, we were running, just talking going on, and then I heard it the first time. Then I run, and I got grabbed, and it was a girl next to me. I grabbed her, she was shot. I grabbed her, and then as I looked up, I turned this way, I see him coming off the door, that's when I seen whatever he had in his hand, he was coming with it, I seen it was red, fire was coming out of it, it was something burning all down my back.
Okay, so you said a lot just now, so take that in bits and pieces, okay?
Okay.
So you said you grabbed a woman. Who was the woman? Did you know this person?
No.
Okay. Now, when the first gunshots were going off, how many of those were there, the first round?
Approximately, I don't know, like 7, 8, multiple.
Okay. Did you, at that time, see anything in relationship to the gunshot?
I would say fire coming from across the street.
When you
It
say,
looked like fire, like out of it, like I seen it.
you say out of
Out of the gun, whatever it was flashes like flash.
So a muzzle flash?
I don't even know.
Okay, you don't know the term?
No.
That's okay. So you see flashes coming out of a gun, and is that when you then grab the woman?
Mhm.
Is that a yes?
Yes,
So after you grab the woman, what's the next thing? The very next thing.
the very next thing, I was running towards the porch. I turned around, another victim lady was shot, right?
Do you know who the name of that person?
No, I just came there now. I know now that her name is Dorothea Robinson, I still don't know the other. I learned from case.
So you see, the second woman, you now know to be Miss Robinson.
Okay.
What's next?
I'm going in the house. I felt the fire on my back. That's when I heard the second. When I'm going in the house, I'm grabbing everybody. I turned around. That's when I got Grace between my leg. And then that's when I grabbed them. The lady with the mic with her chin was down. I was grabbing them in the house. They were moving towards the inside. And that's when I seen them. You can see them coming.
Hold on. So again, you're saying a lot at once, so I'm gonna break it up. Okay. So is that a yes?
Yes,
Okay. So you said you felt fire on your back, is that what you said? Is that a yes?
yes.
Okay, what does that mean? You feel fire on your back?
I felt a whole bunch of, like, just a whole, like, segments, like BBs, just like a whole bunch of them, maybe. I don't know, I just looked all my thing.
Okay, and then you're going into the house and you said something grazed you?
Yeah, and then that's when I came and tried to turn around, shut the door, I got hit, it went through my leg.
And you're pointing to, is that your left leg?
Yeah.
Would that be the side of your left leg like this?
No, the top end.
Oh, the top, so basically grazing along the top half
Yeah.
of your
Yeah,
thigh?
yeah,
Okay, that's what I was pointing at for the record?
yeah,
And where were you standing when that happened?
on the porch, toward the side door.
You said at that time you were turning, what were you turning to do?
Shut the door.
Did you see anything as you were turning?
He's standing.
Hold on, so you said, is that a yes?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
what did you see?
I seen the man was coming, was walking towards the house.
Is this the same individual you described with the gun earlier?
Yes,
Okay. Where, you said he's walking towards the house?
just about I say, when I turned around, he was in the middle of the street, I say to our curb, almost, until where he was at.
Okay, and this is all Coil Street?
Yes,
Okay, was there anything between yourself and this man at that?
no, just the streets, the cars that was on the streets,
Okay, were there cars between the two of you?
I'm not sure.
Did you know anybody that had parked in the street?
No, I had got picked up by somebody that parked in the driveway.
Gotcha. Hey, when did you hear the man with the gun saying?
No,
Are you sure about that?
yeah, I don't recall him saying, I don't know, I heard screaming, I heard loud. I don't,
Did you, after all this happened, did you speak to the police at some point?
yeah, he's gonna have like,
Okay,
not so much of the police, they came, they got my name, that I can remember,
okay, where was that at?
on Coyle Street.
They talked to you at Coil?
Yep.
Did they talk to you anywhere else?
Some detectives came to the hospital.
Okay, did you give them a statement at that time?
Yes.
Okay, with looking at that statement, help refresh your memory as to whether or not this individual said it.
I don't think she said she had a lapse of memory. She just denied that that happened.
She said, I don't recall.
Would that refresh your memory, Ms. Owens? Is that yes?
Yes.
Approach you with page 1 of your statement. Can I approach her?
Okay.
Ms. Owens, I'm going to ask you to take a look at the statement. Don't read it out loud, just read it to yourself, and then please look up at me if that refreshes your memory, okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Does that refresh your memory?
Yes, sir.
And just for the record, is that your statement that I handed you?
Yes, sir.
I'll take that back for you. Thank you. So, Ms. Owens, now that you've refreshed your memory, did you hear this individual say anything?
Yes, he said y'all get our family. During that statement, y'all get our family.
And that was the statement you gave to the police?
Yes, sir.
Now, as a result of your injuries, did you seek medical treatment?
Yes,
Okay.
at the time.
And without going into detail about diagnoses or things like that, were you hospitalized?
No,
Okay. Just what was the nature generally of the medical treatment?
they said 210 fragments that they could find in my bed.
Did you have to do any follow-up care or anything like that?
Yes, I'm going to therapy.
You went to the therapy?
Yes.
Physical therapy?
Yes.
Okay. Are you still doing that?
Yes.
Just one more. Your Honor, I have no further questions for Ms. Owens at this time. Thank you.
Cross-examine.
Please. Good morning.
Good morning.
I believe you testified you were on Coyle Street on July 31st. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Why'd you go to Coyle Street?
For a party.
And whose party was it?
I'm not for sure who party it was. I just got invited to go somewhere. We're at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Okay, and who invited you?
My friend Sophia.
Sophia Steen?
Staying.
Okay. And were you alone or with somebody else?
No, I was just, she had picked me up by myself.
Oh, she picked you up?
By myself.
Okay. So what time did you arrive at the house?
I'm not for sure.
Daylight or evening?
Evening, no, evening.
Was it still light outside or dark?
Still light outside.
Okay. And how long were you there before this incident, this gunfire started?
Probably like 5 hours maybe.
5 hours?
Yeah.
And was there any alcohol being served?
Yeah, it was alcohol, right?
And did you have any alcohol?
No,
Did you say no?
no,
Any other intoxicants?
no.
So, and some point, I believe you testified that there was this incident with the gunfire, is that correct?
Yes,
And were you inside the house or outside the house?
outside the house.
And how far away from the house were you when this started?
First started 2 houses over.
2 houses over on the same side of the street?
On the side of the house I was in. Can you repeat the question?
I'm sorry. So you were 2 houses over from the house that you, Miss Dean's house? is
Yes,
that correct?
walking up and down the street, I was on the phone.
Okay, did you have your back to what was going on?
Well, if I'm on Miss Thing's side, actually, my side is on, is going on, not my back.
Okay, so there was like a profile, what was that? You had to look over your shoulder?
I had to turn and look right towards the,
Okay. So when the shooting started, you get off the phone,
yes,
and what was your first reaction?
right,
Which direction?
towards the house that I was in, didn't know nobody on the block, I went straight towards the house.
Okay. And did you stop along the way?
I was in the midst of grabbing somebody, stopped, looked, there was another person. I don't know how many people I,
Did you say you grabbed people?
yeah, it
How
was a
many
girl,
people?
it was the first girl, was when it first happened, that's what she had, right?
Okay.
And then as I went in the house, that's when the second person that I grabbed was in the midst of when I got shot.
All right. So the time the gunfire started to the time you reached the house, what length of time passed?
I don't know. I don't know.
A matter of seconds, a matter of minutes? You don't know?
No.
You're going pretty fast, is that the same thing to say?
Yeah.
All right. So,
And then it got slow motion when I seen that. I went, so
okay. So once you entered the house, did you stay in the house?
once I got in, I went in the house and stayed in that,
Okay. Were you wounded outside the house or inside?
outside the house.
Did you see anything going on in the way of an altercation between some people?
Like, what you mean, notification with him?
Between the shooter and anybody else?
Oh, no, I only seen him when he came out. Like I said, when I got shot, when I second shooting, that's the first time I seen him. I ain't seen him, notification with him.
Did you see anything in the way of a Durango across the street?
No, not down the way.
Okay.
I told you, but I'm not for sure.
All right. Nothing further.
You redirect? Okay, thank you, ma'am, you may say. Any other witnesses for? Oh, I do have one question for you, man. The gentleman that you say you saw with the gun, would you be able to recognize that gentleman?
No, I'm not for sure. There's a lot going on. And like I said, I didn't know that nothing else was going on, but when I seen him, I just ran. So I'm not sure, like, who it was.
Okay. All right, any questions based on that question?
No, Judge.
Thank you. Any other witnesses speak?
No, Judge, because there's a couple of issues that, based on the testimony, I think we're going to need further testimony to meet our burden. So 3 other witnesses have been subpoenaed to be here today. One's here, however, he has brought to my attention that he is likely going to need a court-appointed attorney before testifying due to potential liabilities on his part, Judge. Second is someone who was subpoenaed but has refused to show up with no valid excuse or reason that would satisfy this court or myself. And then the third judge is the witness at this point as a proffer would be to, or an offer of proof would be doing the identification in this case. However, she is 9 months pregnant, currently at the OBGYN. This is not an appointment we knew about, but we've been communicating with her throughout the course of this morning, Judge, and she's sent proof to Trooper Terrell. So there are 3 witnesses whose testimony is necessary for the remainder of this preliminary examination. I guess I'm asking for a short continuance to secure the one witness's presence who is a listed assault with intent to murder charge victim. B, resolve this issue with whether or not an attorney is needed for the.
Is this the gentleman who allegedly had a gun in the lab?
And then C, also getting Miss Steen here, Sophia Steen, who's the woman that's pregnant.
All right, what's up with the other guy?
That's Judge, I have no information as to where she is. It's a she, Judge. She was subpoenaed and was spoken to.
What's his name?
I'm sorry?
What's her name?
That's Miss McBride, Teresa McBride, Judge.
Haven't been in contact with
No, Judge, we haven't gotten a hold of her.
She hasn't, sorry, Judge, she hasn't been responding to my phone calls or texts, but she's receiving them. My sergeant and lieutenant served her. She's just.
her? And your name for the record?
I'm Trooper Beatrice Terrell.
Beatrice Terrell. All right.
My position is that the prosecution should have anticipated all these problems. And
how can they anticipate a witness who's been subpoenaed not appearing?
I think when someone's being non-responsive, that is a clue as to what their position is, and perhaps they should have sought some other means of remedy of securing that witness to be here today when we were scheduled. As to the
About the young
man
lady that's
who,
pregnant.
sorry, Judge.
About the young lady that's pregnant.
Well, it's not as though she's delivering a baby. She's at her regular doctor's appointment. So I had told her. And again, it should have been something that the prosecution should have done beforehand. Either advise her to make another appointment or try to get this.
They say that caught them by surprise. They didn't know about it.
I don't think there should be any surprises when it comes to this type of thing. You have an important hearing going on. And as to the witness who needs an attorney, again, that could have been anticipated by the prosecution as well, just by the review of the discovery. So that's my position.
All right. Well, particularly as it relates to the young lady that's at her OBGYN appointment, the court finds good cause. I think I heard Mr. Keto indicate that she is the identified witness. So even if I was to bar any other witnesses from testifying, the court would have good cause to adjourn for her not being here, because she didn't share that information with the prosecution. She is a subpoena witness and was supposed to be here, because that subpoena is not an invitation, it's an order to be here, and she's not. So now that we are aware of all of these potential problems, at our next hearing, I bet not hear about anything like this again, because people are on notice now that you have some witness problems. If your witness who is pregnant, I'm not sure how far along she is.
She's at 9 months, Judge.
She's at 9 months. We need to get her in there quick before anything happens.
Yes, sir.
Because if you don't, I'm not gonna hold this meeting up any longer.
Judge, just spoke to Trooper Terrell. Her next appointment, assuming things proceed along as normally, is July 20th.
I want to get her in before July 20.
For sure, yeah.
So I just had something open up for next Tuesday.
Because and I know this was an issue previously scheduling this, but I'm scheduled to be in a trial next week. Could we do the 18th?
I could do the 18th, but would you schedule it later in the morning?
11:30.
That should work for you.
It should
Okay,
work.
let's do July 18th at 11:30.
I'll have several orders to get signed this afternoon for you, Judge, if I can come back, or they're gonna be here this afternoon, Judge.
I will heard.
Yeah, yes, Judge. I will get it done, Judge. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Elvin Park continue to July 18th at 11:30.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Can I have one short?
Yeah.
I'll be back there in a moment.
Your Honor, could you make sure the informants don't bother me, spit and throw feces? This is what's going on in the jail. Listen, I understand you guys have a way of doing things, and I'm not above the law or anything like that. Can I just have my snack? Stop sending scripted inmates, scripted police officers, scripted nurses, scripted staff to come in there and bother me. I'm just here waiting. As you can see, this is a bunch of BS, which we all known back then when this occurred. I just want my snacks. I have money on my account. They keep taking that. It's always something with them. I don't mind waiting. It's not like I have a choice, but could you just tell them, give them the code to leave Winston alone? He's coming to court. I just want my snacks in the shower. I don't even have to have a whole hour out. I'm tired of going through that, and it's unnecessary. Could you just put it in a word and just tell him, hey, let Winston buy his snacks, let him take his shower, he gonna be here on the 18th.
I think the judge is gonna follow up on it.
I don't have any control over what goes on in detention.
The secret squirrels, could you just delay a message to him? Just leave Winston alone. Stop trying to start drama with me. I'm only here because these charges brought me here. I don't come here to make enemies. I don't come here to make friends. I just want to hurry up and get this over with so I can go back home. I don't want no problems, and it's always something. And it's obviously scripted. The acting skills are horrible. It's horrible. But again, I'm not above the law. I understand. I gotta do what you say and what the important people say. I just want my snacks and I just want my shower. That's all I want. I don't want to fight with anybody. Stop telling them to come in there, spit at me, and then act like they don't know what's going on. Stop throwing urine.
We'll pass the word.
Throwing feces.
We'll pass the word for you.
Assaulting me. Leave me alone.
Yeah, go downstairs, Coco.
Okay.
So, Mr. Kehoe, let's tell the secret squirrels to leave them alone. You want your exhibits back?
Yes, hold on, John.
Squirrels.
I'll get a Twitter. I think that was the other complaint.
So at 12:05, Larry King and Mr. Pope.
You know what time? Yeah.
I was next door first. Why 12:00?
It's Mr. King was, another matter to attend to.
Okay. All right.
Just out of curiosity, if I may, Judge. Just out of curiosity, what was Ms. Krause's client charged with?
I think it was a misdemeanor.
Oh, all right.
Sometimes we can be our own worst enemy, right?
Oh, there's no doubt about that.
He said, make it 100,000. I said, okay. Sounds good to me.
All right, I'll see you next week.
That could have been perfect for TV, I swear to God. You can't make that up. You can't. I see, Chair.
Okay. Like from here to.
I love the flip they have. And the defense was like, what execution should we see? You say yes. And that way, oh, yeah, I. So that's where you tell any problems. And like, what you bring to frustration during the project.
Yeah.
I finally know the difference is my first degree.
Hey, what's going on? How you been doing?
We doing good, Mr. Polk. How you doing?
I'm sorry, Judge. I'm good.
Mr. King is here too. He's on the phone. Okay, you too, guys. Take care.
Sorry.
See you Tuesday.
See you Tuesday.
All right. Nice to meet you. Okay, we're ready on call.
Calling case number 2305-732801. People of the state of Michigan versus Cortez Coleman. Defendant is charged in count 1, homicide, murder, first degree premeditated.
Appearances for the record.
Good afternoon. APA Larry King for the people, P78774.
Your Honor, may it please this honorable court, Larry Polk on behalf of Mr. Cortez Coleman. I'm asking the court to waive my client's presence for this emergency motion.
Court waiving the defense. What's your pleasure?
So, Your Honor, I actually was the one who requested this this redo kind of the PCC. When the PCC was conducted, a colleague of mine had stood in for me because I was in the middle of a homicide trial at Third Circuit. And it's my understanding that the court set the exam for the 13th at 11:30. However, I have a trial that day. It's actually a bench trial beginning at 11 o'clock on the 13th. It's one of the few conflicts that I have that week. I have availability other days that week. I was requesting that the court allow us to adjourn this for a preliminary exam to a different day.
Okay, Mr. Polk, do you have any issue with that?
I do not, Judge.
All right. How is you can do July 20th at 10 o'clock.
So unfortunately, Your Honor, I will be out of the country the following 2 weeks, so it would need to either be the week of July the 10th on a different day other than the 13th, or when I return the first week of August.
Mr. King, you're beginning to be a problem, sir.
I apologize, Judge. This is the one time of this year that I'm able to take time off. So I
Adjourn, curtain, next to-
The 18th.
18th. How is July 11th?
July the 11th is free.
Okay, July 11th, and I think I have the 11:30 spot. July 11th
At what time, Judge?
11:30.
I can't do it at 11:30. I have a matter in Hazel Park. Let me see.
How many witnesses, Mr. King?
2, potentially 3. It's not going to be terribly lengthy, Judge.
Okay.
Judge, and I'm not trying to run your calendar. No possibility for the 14th?
The 14th is my non-homicide day.
All right, okay. All right. I could do the 12th.
That's a non-homicide day as well.
Oh, okay. All right.
But
Okay.
I could probably do the 12th at 1:30 if you guys want.
I
can't. I have a 1:30 scheduled at July 12th.
Well, I'm available. I tell you what, Judge, I'll try to, let me see. I'll try to, what time, 11:30 on the 11th? I'll try to do that. I'll see if I can adjourn my matter in Hazel Park.
Let me know if you need my help.
All right, thank you. I'll do that.
And before we break, I understand there might have been some discussion about competency. Are we definitely going to go forward with this exam on the 11th, or?
As far as I know, we are moving forward with the exam. As soon as there's a definitive made in reference to competency, first person to know is the judge and then you.
Thank you both. I thank you, everybody.
Okay, thank you. See you on 11th. Appreciate it.
11th. All right, thank you, Judge.
What case is that?
That's on code. It's code.
Is that a legal case? So I think we did everybody but Upchurch.
So Upchurch, Mr. Alex, he said, is it possible to give him July 19th or the 21st? A morning appointment.
For example?
For example. And the 8th.
So I have both of those days. So we'll take care of it. The 19th. Did you hear that, Jessica?
I heard the 9th.
That's for Mr. Upchurch.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna set that for exam on the 19th at 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Have a good day.
You too. I'll see you next week.
All right.
Bye, Jessica.
Bye, Ardita.
Okay, I think I must have wrote one file. I got the Kill Jones file. Which file that was in? I wrote Pelvin Park.
Yeah, Kirby was held in part. Oh, Kirby.
Oh, Kill Jones, that's.
Okay.
Your partner.
July 14th at 12:30.
Hey, Judge.
That's a wrap.
All right, y'all have a great day.
You as well, sir. Appreciate you.
Okay. Great job, Madam Court Reporter.
You too.
That's it for today, folks.
Okay.
Hope to see you. I'll be back Monday. Same bat station, same bat time.
I think.